Just building her confidence and form through the season here. Big fan of the physical and demanding tracks. So we'll see what Monica's got in store for us here today. It's quite a mix, that second corner. It's way more difficult than it seems with a couple of foot-deep ruts. So Monica is into the Oakley Rock Garden. She's 6 seconds up right now. What will she do through these rock steps here? Favors that inside line, so she does have the current fastest time and in the lead.
Yeah, I would imagine we're going to see some experience start to play off here. She's raced here before. She's raced pretty much everywhere. She's putting it together here. This is looking like a good run.
And she knows what it takes to be competitive here. In 2018, she was on the podium. And she knows the feeling as she gets down into the proper steep and deep at the bottom. She's 10 seconds up at split 3, so she's on a great run here today.
Yeah, great to see her here up to pace. A little bit of a question mark yesterday after qualifying. I was curious. She definitely looked disappointed when she crossed the finish line.
Charging hard towards the bottom here now.
Yeah, looks like this is coming together nice. Good speed into this section. We saw some issues here.
Definitely saw some issues. It's such a difficult spot, turning on an off-camber slate rock into a hard key left-hander.
You see these little spots here and there where she's just getting a little left or a little right of the main line, kind of missing those big holes. That makes a big difference, not only on the speed, but the energy levels and not having to kind of take all those impacts.
We're talking about inches here, Aaron, aren't we? 1 inch further can mean the difference between a kilometre or 2 kilometres an hour faster. She's 12 seconds up at split 4. She's about to take a dominant lead into the hot seat. She comes down into the finish arena here over the step down, close to 12 metres off that step down jump. Look at the braking bump starting to develop there. Just what you need when your hands feel like they're about to explode.
Yeah, those aren't going to get any better, but what a run from her. She's extending all the way down the track, and I think that's what we're going to need to see today. What a run.
Monica Rastnik comes down with a 4:32 and takes her spot in the hot seat right now. Yeah, she should be happy with that. That looked good. Looking solid. Nina Hoffman from the Santa Cruz Syndicate in the start gate. Not scared one bit, and she will charge all the way to the line. The German national downhill champion.
She has to block out the last couple of weeks. This really needs to be kind of a championship level ride for her if she's going to stay in the fight for this overall. I was talking to her team manager Steve Pete yesterday, and he said she just put so much energy into that run in Leogang last week after the elbow injury that she doesn't have much left. Had another crash in qualifying yesterday, so it's things have not been going easy for Nina here, but we know she's a fighter and she will cross the finish line no matter what, as we saw in Mount St. Anne last year.
No matter what, she will cross the finish line, that's for sure. It's still somewhat early in the season, so there's still a lot of racing to come towards the end of this year. Nina Hoffman is good enough for second place as she comes across the line, so it's a solid run from the German.
Yeah, definitely not what she's capable of, but considering the circumstances, very strong ride to fight through everything she's dealing with right now.
Tani Seagrave in the start gate. She's had her struggles this week.
Yeah, not the easiest weekend for Tani so far. I know she's just kind of fighting to find the flow here, the strength at the bottom part of this track, but Tani is a racer. When it comes down to needing to put down a good performance when it counts, she's one of the absolute best. So I'm curious. Oh yeah, and she's doing it, up 5 seconds at the second split here.
She's doing it all right. She's put in a great top sector. She's 4.7 up at split 2. We're eagerly await split 3 time. Tani Seagrave has pieced this puzzle together fantastically so far. She finally gets a chance to rest right now before she attacks this lower section. She has dropped a little bit of time between sector 2 and sector 3. Is that some fatigue creeping in? Slight mistake there. It is so difficult to maintain speed through that bit, Aaron.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where the hands are pretty much done, and you got to be able to fight through it here. I'm curious to see how Tani manages this. I think she's been struggling a little bit at the bottom part of this track all weekend. Maybe with the fatigue, maybe she's dealing with a little injury or something not quite clicking, but she's definitely making the most of it here. Just got to stay aggressive, keep that intensity up.
You see her dad eagerly pacing and watching down the bottom. Team manager and Daddy O's hanging out, waiting for Tani to come across the line. She's 2.8 back. We cannot wait to see if she's made up some more time. She's 1 second up at the moment. I apologize. She's up 1 second at the moment, so she is slightly starting to fatigue potentially. She still has a 1 second lead right now. She's got one hand on that hot seat. She goes for the outside line to carry a bit of extra speed, maybe take a little bit of pressure off her arms and her hands, as she has a couple of sections to go into the arena through the Valdisol Pipo gap, through the break and bumps. She's got 2 corners to go. She's got 1 second to play with. She needs to get on the pedals and get on the pedals hard as she sprints to the line. Will she claim the hot seat off Monica Hrasnik? Right now, Tani Seagrave to the line, and she goes fastest with a 4:31.4. Just shy of 1 second faster than Monica Hrasnik. She should be happy with that. That was a solid run. Marine Cabarro. She's had a love-hate relationship with this Valdisol Trentino course. She won here in 2019. What can she do today? She's already got 1 victory. Look at the fog rolling in. Oh, it's getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting real up there.
It's getting real. The French national champion is on track. What has she got for us? If anyone can take some time out of Tani, it's Marine. She's a bit off at the second split, but 3 seconds in this lower section.
Yeah, Tani is always so fast at the top of these courses. She's kind of notorious for putting in really big first splits, so she gave up a little bit of time in the bottom half. She was kind of going the wrong direction, so if Marine can hold this together and stay in touch, there's definitely some time to pull back if she can get it.
There's so many line choices in just that one section there. We've barely seen the same rider take the same line twice.
Yeah, that's what I love about this track. The whole track's about 30 to 50 feet wide. There's just lines everywhere. Really allows the riders to get creative.
Definitely creative. She's definitely pulled back some time into split 3, so the battle is on. What has Marine Cabarro got for us? She knows this track. She knows what it takes to perform well here. She's hungry this season to make it happen. And what can she do in the final sector? She's carrying some great speed down there. A little bit of an inside line compared to some of the earlier athletes from this pivotal section. Goes to inside, carries some good exit speed out of there.
Yeah, this is looking good. It seems like this run is kind of building the more she gets down the course here, and this is exactly what we need to see. I'm gonna say, yep, she's getting a little closer here, but still got a second to make up here.
She's just chipping away, 0.9 of a second. She's got a couple of big corners to go. It is anyone's game right now. We saw the time gaps be chewed away in these final 2 splits. So what can Marine Cabarro do? A couple of steps to go through the Pipo gap, through the famous Valdisol sign.
Looked good to me. Went inside there where some of the other riders were going outside. That looked clean and a little bit straighter.
She needs to get on the gas, needs to get on the gas hard. Takes the high entrance to the final corner. That'll give her an extra push to the line. Sprinting over the final gap, Marine Cabarro to the line, and she goes 0.3 off of Tani Seagrave with a 4:31. So Marine goes into second position. Valley Hall is on track. What can she do here today?
Yeah, it's definitely getting worse up there. I'm very curious to see how Valley's gonna do here. She's really had to fight through this weekend, coming off such a big win, winning by over 7 seconds in Leogang at her home track last week. The emotional high, and then to kind of regroup so quick. I'm hearing she's dealing with a flu this weekend, so not feeling good. She also had a crash in her qualifier yesterday and still finished 3 seconds off the lead, so
we'll see what happens here today. You could already see from that Whoop data earlier that she was in the gate. The excitement and anticipation was real with 153 beats a minute to start the run. That is going to spike rapidly coming down through this massive rock lily pad section here. She's into the first split. She's still in touch, only 0.4 back. This is where it starts to get real. This is where that strength comes to play, and hopefully she can calm the farm and bring it home here today.
Yeah, look at that. She's looking really good through there, through those rock slabs. So much aggression and speed.
Oh, hold on to it. Oh, no. She got a bit offline there. Look at how slippery those rocks are. That is like an absolute ice rink. Speaking of spiking heart rate, you can see it's immediately back into the 180s. So close to Valley Hole's max heart rate. Let's see what happens here, Aaron.
Yeah, she tried to kind of squeeze back over to the left there to find that smoother line and just push the wheel off those slippery rocks.
Oh, no, the YT mob. gasps.
It's gonna take a bit of energy out of her if she's feeling sick and not a lot in the tank. So
Bummer.
it's gonna need to be a salvage ride for her though. But she's got a bit of a points lead in the overall right now. If she can really put this together and keep pushing, she could still potentially land on the podium and get herself some good points. She seems to be back up to full speed. It's good to see.
That's right. You mentioned before, championship run. She has to have that championship points lead in her mind. Every point counts coming into the second half of the season here.
As we know, she's so strong, and she seems to be sending it still.
Definitely seems to be sending it. Got away reasonably lucky there in that section not to smoke one of those massive roots with her hip or her shoulder. Navigating this huge Oakley steps with ease for the minute. Well, maybe not with ease, but she's getting through it. She's battling through. She's 8.5 back even with that big mistake. So anything can happen down the bottom here. We've seen huge time chunks be taken out before. That was a section that took out her #1 seed, Jess Blewett, earlier today. So she makes her way through there. We're eager to see if she has pulled back some time or is she in consolidation mode just to get down this run. So she is on the same speed as Tani. She's slightly clawed back a little bit of time, which is impressive to see considering that she slapped the dirt so hard. As we see our #1 hot seat leader, Tani Seagrave, has our fastest speed of the day. Valley Hole charging. Oh, goes for the mid to outside line. Bit of a good exit there. What will she do in this key section, which is proving to wreak havoc amongst some of our junior athletes? Almost tucks the front, gets the weight on the inside of the handlebars there.
Yeah, she's pushing here. She's definitely got a podium ride going. I think she's sitting about 4th right now. If she crosses the line with this gap, she's got a bit of time she needs to make up if she's gonna catch up to 3rd.
And she is visibly charging and on the timesheet as well. She's pulled back a little bit of time. Will it be enough to get back on that podium here today? It may not be enough to knock Tani Seagrave out of the hot seat, but will she get back on that podium with a huge mistake in the rock garden? She comes over the Pipo gap through the Val de Sol sign. She's got a couple of drops to go. This is where that flu and that lack of strength will come in. Hopefully she can hold on to it. She has calmed down just a little. Valley Hole has one sprint to go with quite a turbulent run, an exciting run. All the way to the line in Val de Sol. Valentina Hole comes across the line and will hold on to 4th position right now.
I love to see this out of Marine. Just so happy again. So good to see Pom Pom back with a big smile on her face on the track. Riding really good here. Had some big rides in the past.
And she's riding with a level of fire we haven't seen in a minute before. That confidence has kicked straight back in and she is ready to rip.
Yeah, you can see it in her style here. She rides low on the bike, elbows nice and wide. When she's charging, she's a lot of fun to watch. What a story this is going to be, man. If Miriam can pull this off, the comeback is going to be incredible.
The comeback is real. She loves the Val de Sol venue. She's won here twice before, including a 2021 World Championship. She won the 2022 edition. She was not here in 2023. So this is going to be fantastic to see. We cannot wait to see this first split time come up. You can see a fire in her eyes that we have not seen in a minute or two. So it's great to see her riding with confidence and with flair.
She's in touch here. Tani was really fast at the top of this track, so she's kind of right where she needs to be so far.
It's right where she needs to be. As you can see, that fog is getting thicker and thicker at the top, so which could explain that 0.5 of a second back. She's only 0.5 back, which is nothing coming into this lower section. Navigates those rocks. Max Commensal watches, is in anticipation. Will his golden girl get back onto the top step of the podium? Time will tell. She's looking fantastic right now.
I don't even know what to say. I'm just nervously watching. I love to see this out of her. She's been through so much with the injuries the last couple of years. To be able to be back on track and doing this on this course.
On this course, on these conditions, with it becoming so gnarly and deteriorating so much, it does not and has not been this difficult in many years. Miriam Nicole is back with authority. She's 1 point back. 1.8 seconds back from Tani Seagrave. Have we seen something magical come out of Tani Seagrave here today? Will we see her back on the top step, or will Miriam Nicole dig into this second half of the circuit here? It is all to play for. 1.8 seconds on a track like the Val de Sol Black Snake. Anything can happen. The key section here, the Oakley Rock Garden.
Yeah, she's got to get through here clean. See if she chooses to go to the inside. Yep, nice. Roll over that smooth. Got to keep the momentum going here. This is where she's going to need to start picking it up. She's going to pull that time back on Tani.
She needs to navigate this section. She also needs to push and be fast and smooth. Such a difficult task when there is nothing but rocks and roots to dance over. Come on, Miriam, let's go.
Yep. Got to push here.
All right, she's finally exited the upper section here, the second part of the track where you get to take a slight breath. It's not a big one, but it is a small one. Miriam Nicole charging into sector 3, so that's it. Tani Seagrave has pulled some more time on Miriam here. What has Miriam got in store towards the bottom? She's got a 3.7 second gap to make up to Tani Seagrave. You can feel Tani sitting on the podium right now.
What a result that's going to be if Tani can pull it off. I think her last win was back in Leger in 2021.
Miriam Nicole is back and back in fine form. She's 3.3 back. She has made some time up, so has she gauged this perfectly? Will she be playing a negative split and trying to rip that victory out of Tani Seagrave's hands all the way to the line? Goes around the huge rock step. Here we go, Aaron, here we go.
Yeah, she's dug herself a bit of a hole here. I'm not sure if she's going to be able to pull all that time back on Tani, but a podium is to play for, and what a ride from her.
What a ride from Miriam Nicole. She charges her way down. She's got 2 corners to go before the sprint to the finish. This is your final elite woman on track. Miriam Nicole, the return is real. Pom-pom is back. Sprinting to the line. Our second fastest qualifier, Miriam Nicole, across the line. And she goes in to 4th position today, which means Tani Seagrave is your Val di Sole World Cup champion here today. What an incredible run. What a return. What an insane performance from all of our elite women athletes.
Oh, that is so cool to say. Congrats, Tani. What a ride. It's been a while, and this is a girl that has had to fight through so much, including injuries of her own over years and years. A weekend that didn't seem like it was really going her way, but that's what champions do. You can see the experience coming out. You got to be able to win on your worst days, and what a ride. Good effort, girl.
What a ride. Tani Seagrave back on top of the podium. Look at what this means to the entire team. This is her 3rd victory here in Val di Sole. Just getting better and better. Tani Seagrave is your champion. Your fastest 5 women in the world. Your UCI Downhill World Cup. Incredible.